The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Richard Martin here for the Eagles Sports Network as the Carson-Newman track and field team prepares for their first outdoor meet of the season, heading to the Lee Invitational this weekend. I'm here with Director of Track and Field Cross Country, David Needs. Coach Needs, first of all, we got to wrap up the indoor season and another All-American finish for Joseph Areva in the long jump, 6th overall. What can you say about Joseph? Just a strong finish again to this season, another All-American honor for your team.
Yeah, I was so proud of Joseph and his coach, Chris Potts-Howard, because I think that they did a great job. I mean, Joseph had about 4 practices in the last 2 months, 3 months, just because of a battling injury. And so for Joseph to be able to step up the way that he did, you know, I was so pleased with that, and jumped further than he did last year at Nationals, which was, you know, about 1 centimeter or so, but did really well. It kept our streak too, Richard. I've had an All-American, a first-team All-American since 2017 in every Nationals, and so that kept that streak alive, and you know, we're so proud of that. And people ask me all the time, well, how do you do well at Nationals? Not just us, but what's the formula? And the formula is to get your good people to score at Nationals, and Joseph did that. And that's it's got to be, and it's one of the toughest things in the world just to finish in the top 8 at Nationals. And Joseph did that, and had a great mental attitude, had great optimism, and just really was ready to bring it. And you know, I know it's going to be for him in outdoors. You know, we're setting our sights on a national championship for sure.
Talk about outdoor. You've said overall this team does better in the outdoor. And last season they did. Men's team finished 11th in the country, highest ranking they've ever had in outdoor. Women had a strong showing too at the SAC championships, finishing 9th and had a couple of podium placements there. What is the difference in the mindset of this team between indoor and outdoor that just pushes them to succeed even further?
Well, we have some events that fit with who we are and part of our identity. I mean, we've got some pretty good javelin people, and so that gets to be seen in outdoor that we wouldn't have done in indoor. We've got some discus people that do well. We do a great job with a hammer. And then just some of our people, we've always been a team that was not going to try and peak too early, that we were going to continue to get better as we go through. And one of the great things with Kieran's training method and with Coach Spooner and with Austin and Coach Champ and certainly with Coach Baker and Chris is that we're not trying to be at our peak right now. We're trying to be at our peak at the conference meet and then at the national meet, and we've done that. That's been part of our model, and so it gets frustrating when you look at some other people and you're saying, man, look how fast they're running, and then you look at the end of the year and that was how good they were, and they were about 6 weeks too early from being at their peak, and so it's just that patience that we have as a staff to say that we're not going to do that, and then, you know, people like Dr. Kelly Brock, that when they do battle through some injuries, that they're able to get through there, and you know, and the way that Jeff pushes them in the weight room and everything. It's a collective effort to being at our peak and at our best towards the end of the outdoor season.
We already discussed this once back on the Mike Klein show, but Trey Weiss is a guy that comes through in the outdoor season, holds school records in the discus and in the hammer throw in the outdoor, won a conference championship last season. Would have made the national championships if the field was the normal size field as usual. What about him as a competitor? Because he gets after it in football and also on the track. Just what about him makes him so special?
Well, you know, Robert Ory, they call Big Shot Bob, and you know, you have other people that are Mr. Clutch. That's what Trey is. You know, we said that Trey would be somebody that would find a way to score at the conference meet in the shot put, which is not even his event, and he did. The discus and the javelin are 2 places where we really count on Trey to help us. You know, winning the discus last year and then finishing the top 3 in the javelin. Trey just has that pilot light inside that when it's a competition, it clicks on. And I always say, you know, if we can get Trey to nationals, a lot of people are going to be shocked because he's going to be a guy that's going to be on the podium and high up on that podium, because he's a guy that when it comes time to competing, you know, whether that's chasing down a quarterback or that's throwing a discus or throwing a javelin, that guy has it, and you know, and you love that because you don't get guys like that and girls like that all the time. So when you have them, you better appreciate them, and we certainly appreciate Trey.
Looking at this weekend, Lee Invitational. Lee got a new track last year. You went there twice and competed and did very well. Of course, a lot of national teams will be there. But, of course, as you said, this is the first outdoor meet, not just for you, but for a lot of teams. But what is the goal of this first meet, to kind of get more of a baseline reading?
Yeah, we want a baseline, but at the same time, we're not going to surrender. In outdoor, you can't surrender opportunities because you just don't know what the weather is going to be like in other situations. So we have to go there with the idea that we're going to run very fast, jump very far, and throw very far. And so we can't go in there thinking, all right, well, we're just going to kind of get our feet wet. We want to go in there and say, all right, this is the spot by which we're going to build for the rest of the season. And so our athletes have to come in there ready to push and ready to push for excellence. Why not at Lee? Why not with a great facility and some very good teams that are going to be there? Why not push to see where you can be? Now, we've got some people that are injured and some things like that we're going to be really careful with. But at the same point, I mean, you and I are going to blink, and we're going to be doing this interview for the conference championship here in about a month, and we're going to sit there and say, man, where did the season go? and so we can't do that as a track team and say, all right, well, I'm going to wait till conference just to be ready, because it'll be too late at that point.
Well, Coach, just thank you for your time and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Carson-Newman Track and Field heads back outside this weekend for the Lee Invitational.